Hey y'all, back with another update from a busy but good week of reselling and turning $50 into $5,000. If you are new here, I am a reseller of I've been reselling for about 2 years, little over now, and a few months ago, I decided 2024 is gonna be the year that I really get good at this and I set myself a challenge. I had $50 that I had been gifted and I want to turn that into $5,000 to reach a whole lot of goals. I have a playlist and I link that up here to let you start from the beginning. If you are new here, if you've been watching for a while, hooray, thanks for returning. For whatever this is. So today, you're probably here to find out how the week went with my reselling. So I'm happy to say it went very well. So where we last left off, I had $92.99 in my challenge fund. And the next morning I went to the yard sales. It was pretty quiet compared to last week. We did go to a large yard sale, sort of pop-up flea market in a town called Williston, Florida. I thought it was a great market, some really wonderful stuff. And I actually, after getting all the essential oils and having to give those away, and also feeling a little bit overwhelmed with some of the backlog of materials items I have to list, I was really sticking to only getting stuff that I thought was really good, especially sell-through needs to be fast. I can be a little bit, I'd really like to make like $20 on each item that I sell minimum, but I'm happy with I'm especially happy with 15 or 16 if the item sells really quickly, like in a day or in a week. But I'm sure you understand and you know that when you're on yard sale day, there's so much stuff and you want to buy it all because you know it will sell and bring you profit. But I can't list it all. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough energy. So I was really strict with myself this weekend and I spent only $23. I have $92 in my budget and theoretically I should be spending most of that to grow this money as quickly and as much as possible. But there are limits to that and I could just buy a bunch of stuff that sits around forever and it may not make money. So again, I am trying to stick to the buying the really good stuff. So I did. I found some really good stuff were the first things I bought, and after that, it was just the battle of do I have time to do this thing? Do I have time to do that thing? Should I buy this? But I was reassured by the fact that one of the first items I picked up on Saturday morning sold overnight. So I picked up a couple of these Hadley pottery items. I was not familiar with these. I feel like I mentioned homeschooling picker in almost every video I do, but I really wouldn't have recognized these because I have sold pottery in China before. I have some in my collection and am familiar with, let's look at the bottom, the signature that way. So I had never seen these before. But when I saw them on hers, and then I was at this sale and recognized this seller had a bunch of them. I picked up 2 pieces, like an egg cup, and then I picked up a butter dish. And the butter dish, both of them I listed when I got home after the yard sales, and the butter dish sold overnight for the full asking price. I believe I asked a bit lower than I could have, and maybe still made the sale within a week or so. But I'm happy to have gotten that sale really fast. So that sale got me, for the Hadley piece, got me $49.90 which was amazing. I also sold an item, a book this week for $15.47 was the total after fees and shipping and everything. So those two items brought me up over $100, and I now have $135.36 in my fund, and I am so pleased with that. I think it's hard daily to, especially when I spend a bunch of money and buy things, and I know they have value in them, so like that value is there, but I think on a daily basis, it can be hard to know that the challenge is going up. So I started with 50 and then I went below that to get it going, and then I crept up and eventually got to almost 100, and now I'm over 100, which is where I would love to be. So I think the most important thing for me to remember when I'm struggling a bit right now, because I've put in so much hard work and put in a lot of money and time into it, is that it's like almost 3 times now what I put into it. If I get one more $15 sale before I go out and source again, then I'll be at 3 times what my initial investment was in just it's probably been about 6 weeks that I've been doing this. Maybe we'll say 2 months, 3 times your money in 2 months. That sounds good to me. So I'm trying to remember that, and remember that I picked up these excellent items, one of the first things in the morning, and that it's okay to leave things behind right now, because the most important thing is to pick up items that are going to sell fast, that are going to bring me a good return on the investment, and that I can then put right back into something else and not spend lots of time dealing with other things that don't bring me as much money. Or, for example, back when I first started the challenge, I did a video of, I went out to source and I only had a few dollars because I had not sold anything at first when I first started this, and I way overspent. I went to an estate sale that was family run, so the prices were great, and I spent almost $50 at it. Well, today I was going through a lot of that stuff because I've been putting it off going through it as I'm working on this challenge, because I'm not counting that stuff, but I still want to get it listed and sold and done and make money off of those things overall. And I just threw away a whole set of flatware that I had not looked at carefully. Now, I only paid $2 for the set, so it's not the end of the world. I lost $2, but it was absolutely gross. It was so nasty. And I hadn't looked at it carefully enough, and I could have saved myself more time really than just the $2. Was the important thing, is that I spent some time on those. I researched when I first saw it, I researched them and said, oh, these might be worth something. And I just ended up throwing them away in the end because they were in terrible condition. A bunch of them were. The ones I picked up obviously weren't. It was the ones in the bottom that were in bad condition. But that's the way it goes, I guess. But it just reiterates that I should focus on really good stuff, really good items, because that's what I can handle right now. I can worry about getting volume later if I'm able to do this as my job instead of working my regular job. But I'm getting way ahead of myself, because we've got to turn this $50 into $5,000 before I can even think about doing that, right? So this video went everywhere. We are at $135.36. Don't forget that 36 cents in the fund. So when I go to yard sales, because I will this weekend, actually, I'm looking forward to an estate sale from one of my favorite companies that hasn't had one in a while. I'm looking forward to that this weekend. So actually I may end up I sometimes end up with a whole box of stuff from their estate sales because they have great deals. But I am going to try to continue to stick to my goals. And I appreciate you coming along with me for the whatever this is that's happening that we're doing. Because it's successful so far. It's going well. It's going well. And I'm going to focus on how well it's going. And I'm learning and growing and doing better. So thanks for being here today. It's been fun. It's been real. I'll see you next time. Bye.